All right, in this video we're going to look at two word problems that involve setting up equations and then solving them. So in this first one, it takes a graphic designer 1.5 hours to make one page of a website. Using new software, the designer could complete each page in only 1.25 hours, but it takes 8 hours to learn the software. So how many web pages would the designer have to make in order to save time using the new software? So in this case, first thing we're going to do is define a variable to use. And in order to do that, we're going to look and see what the final question is actually asking for. And the final question from here to here is how many web pages would the designer have to make in order to save time using the new software. So I'm going to use P for pages, and that is the number of pages the designer I'm a numbers guy. The designer needs to make to save time. Now, without the new software, it takes the web designer 1.5 hours. So if he makes 2 pages, that's 3 hours of work. If he makes 3 pages, 4.5 hours of work. Well, he's making P pages. We're not sure how many pages that is. So it's 1.5 times P. We want to know when that is equal to creating these pages with the software. So with the software, it only takes him 1.25 hours per page. So if he makes 2, that's 2.5 hours. 3 is 3.75 hours. 4 pages is 5 hours, and so on. So the total number of hours with the new software is 1.25 times P. Now, the other piece of this is the 8 hours to learn the software. Okay? So we want to know when it becomes more efficient for him to use the new software as opposed to just doing it himself. Okay? So if you want, we could get rid of the decimals by multiplying by 100. We want to move it over 2 places. I always like to do that. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. You don't have to do this step. I usually like to, just to get all integers involved. The decimals may not bother you, especially when you're using a calculator. So this step may be frivolous for you. Doesn't matter. But doing this, I have 150p is equal to 125p plus 800. And once again, just like before, I want to get the p on the same side of the equal sign. Using the subtraction property of equality, so I have 25p is equal to 800. So then I'm going to divide by 25. And I know that 25 goes into 100 4 times, so I have 8 of those. So P is equal to 32. So what that tells me, what did P represent? Number of pages the designer would need to make to save time. So in order to save time, the designer needs to create more than 32 pages to save time. Using the new software. All right, then in the next one, this one can actually be set up without putting a variable on both sides. A new office or an office manager spent $650 on a new energy-saving copier that will reduce the monthly electric bill for the office from $112 to $88. And how many months will the copier pay for itself? So there's our variable right there. And I'm going to use M for a number of months. Okay, how many months will it take for the copier to pay for itself? So what we basically want to do here is have the savings equal the cost of the machine. That'll tell us how many months it will take for it to pay for itself. Well, the amount of savings, if we reduce our electric bill from $112 to $88, that is a savings of $24. So that is a savings of $24 per month, and we want to know when that is going to be equal to $650. That's basically all we want to do. So, in order to solve this equation for M, we are going to divide both sides by 24. And using a trusty calculator, 650 divided by 24, what we get is 27.083 repeating. That's what we end up with. So to operate this machine, operating it for 27 months won't do it. The new copier will need to be used (28) months. Because 27 won't quite do it. We need to use it that 28th month to pay for itself. And this ends the videos for lesson 2-4.